Godwyn the Golden. How could he go from this to this? What the hell happened?
Hey!
How you guys and girls doing today? Tempster918 here, and in this video we are talking about Godwyn. Who is he and what are all the real details behind his tragic backstory? Before we get into this video, I just want to say thank you to all the support recently, and I couldn't be more grateful for you guys. If you enjoy these videos, please make sure to hit that sub button and like button, as it helps with the channel a lot. With that being said though, let's get right into it. Godwyn the Golden was part of the prestigious Golden lineage, being born to Queen Marika the Eternal and her consort, the First Elden Lord Godfrey. During Queen Marika's reign, the Erd Tree was attacked by dragons, who were the rulers of the world before Marika's rise to power. We can see just how powerful these dragons were by taking a look at the Vault of Grandsax. It reads, "A great ancient dragon, Grandsax, once rained calamity upon the royal capital. The only time in historical record that Lyndel's walls have fallen. This marked the dawn of the war against the ancient dragons. It was a tough battle, but the forces of the Erd Tree defeated the dragons, with Godwyn triumphing over the feared Fortisax and gaining the mighty dragon's friendship. This newfound friendship between former enemies led to the creation of the capital's ancient dragon cult, where Leyndell knights could learn dragon incantations. I am of the belief that around the time Godwyn befriended Fortisax, he also learned Death Lightning, as the incantation says. It is said that this golden lightning was wielded by Godwyn, who befriended Fortisax. Unfortunately, Godwyn's rule over Leyndell in the Golden Order came to an abrupt end during the Night of Black Knives. Godwyn's stepsister, Lunar Princess Ranni, wanted to escape her fate as a pawn of the Greater Will. She stole a fragment of the Rune of Death from Meliketh and used it to empower the assassin's weapons through a fearsome ritual. Godwyn's death was the first recorded death of a demigod, and it triggered the shattering of the Elden Ring and the war among his siblings and step-siblings. Although Godwyn was thought to be the first dead among the demigods, he and Ranni died simultaneously. As a result, each received one half of the curse mark of death. Ranni's body died while Godwyn's soul alone perished. Godwyn was buried at the Erd Tree's roots beneath Leyndell. However, without a soul, his body couldn't die a true death. Some, including his younger half-brother Miquella and his companion Fortisax, tried to cure him and give him a proper death, but they failed. We actually have a bit of lore info for both of these. Miquella tried using a sword to put Godwyn to rest once and for all. The Golden Epitaph straight sword description reads, "A sword made to commemorate the death of Godwyn the Golden, first of the demigods to die, infused with the humble prayer of a young boy. Oh brother, Lord brother, please die a true death." Then we have his sworn friend Fortisax. His remembrance reads, "After Godwyn the Golden became the Prince of Death, the ancient dragon fought long and hard against the death within its companion. Alas, victory was never achieved, and its only reward was corruption." Damn, y'all. It makes me feel bad just reading that, for real. The soulless body, unable to die a true death, transformed into an unrecognizable anomaly. This being, known as Godwyn, became known as the Prince of Death. Eventually, death roots sprouted from Godwyn's body, spreading across the lands between through the roots of the Erd Tree and giving rise to those who live in death. We can see the influence of Godwyn, or should I say the Prince of Death, all over the lands between. Former shells of himself popping up under Stormvale Castle, infecting those who get too close with death blight. Those who live in death are the skeletons we see all around the lands between, the ones that simply resurrect after we kill them over and over again. Tibia Mariners appear to be the leaders of these skeletons, as they themselves carry their own death root. His influence doesn't stop there though. We can even see it spreading to animals and plants. Tree husks and roots are filled to the brim with his influence. We can even see his eyes in some of them. Creepy as hell. Crabs too. The back of these crabs are filled with the Prince of Death's pustules. Makes me wonder if he is watching the actions of the Tarnished the entire time, even if he can't communicate it. His story hasn't ended yet though. The deathbed companion Fia became a leading figure among those who live in death, eventually finding her way to the prince's throne. With the help of the Tarnished champion, which is us, Fia gathers the two halves of the curse mark, one from Ranni's discarded body and the other from Godwyn's body. She then lies with Godwyn to grant him a second life as the Prince of Death. What is the result of her laying with a dead body, Tempster918? Well, I'm glad you asked, guys. As a result of their wonderful union, Fia conceived a rune that a champion champion seeking to become Elden Lord could use to mend the Elden Ring, introducing the principle of life within death into the Golden Order. The rune is called the Mending Rune of the Death Prince, and the description reads as a conclusion almost. It says, the Golden Order was created by confining destined death. Thus, this new order will be the one of death restored. With this rune, we can achieve the Age of Duskborn ending, bringing death to the new order of the world. Now, Fia does say that laying with Godwyn and birthing this rune would give him a more illustrious life, so maybe that means that this rune has Godwyn's essence in it or something like that. Perhaps this allows his spirit to observe or come back to life via a weird mental state. I'm not so sure, it's all up to our wonderful interpretation. The last little piece of lore we have is from the DLC and the Hidden Fog Rift and Dark Light Catacombs. We can find more husk of Godwyn there, as well as Death Knights that seem to protect his husk. The Death Knight's helmet description reads, the decayed golden wheel that adorns the helm represents their unbroken loyalty to Godwyn, he who became Prince of Death. A little more info on them is told through their armor and axe. I've translated the armor set and axe info to something that I believe makes more sense. It pretty much reads that these knights who were once Godwyn's personal guards went on a mission to find a substitute body for their transformed master to prepare for the new era of the Duskborn. Furthermore, the axe description pretty much reads the same thing. It says that the knight we encounter there used to be Godwyn's personal bodyguard and also protected the substitute body of the Prince of Death. Pretty cool to know that Godwyn had bodyguards and these Death Knights viewed his husk as some sort of holy or divine body, perhaps meant to bring him back as the Prince of Death, but that's where the lore ends. That is it for now, guys and girls. I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, I was looking around online and I was seeing a lot of people say the same thing I was thinking. I was hoping that we would get a lot more lore on Godwyn since his influence is so massive and pivotal to the story of Elden Ring. I really thought he was going to be the final boss of the DLC, or maybe we could even go back in time to fight him in his prime before his death. Looks like we'll just have to wait and see in the future. Hopefully we get some more Elden Ring DLC, but until then, I will just cope with the Godwyn lore that we've got now. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Simpson918 out of here. Love you guys.